What's good, y'all? Do this real quick. 13 love. 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect, rising flies, which like them nines. I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, so as a spirit, right? As a spirit, you are never naked, right? I'm gonna break this down. You remember in the Bible when it speaks about Adam and Eve and how Adam and Eve, once they ate from the tree of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, they became aware that they were naked, right? Right? But in truth, in reality, they were not naked. Because as a spirit, you have already layered yourself with a light body. You are not the light body. You are inside of it. You're like an onion with layers and layers of clothing around you. So as a spirit, you are nothing. Your first clothes you put on is light. These are your orbs and shit you see. You know what I'm saying? This is also what people are calling the soul, because all beings, all spirits don't have orb ships. They don't have spaceships. They only have their spirit. So they usually come out like a ghost or shit like that. But when you see an orb leave a body, that is a higher level spirit. That's a spirit that has learned about himself, herself, itself, and has been able to bend in its light, bend in its awareness to create a light, which is like putting a clothing around you as a child, putting that cloth around you, putting those clothes on you as an adult. And you know, the higher you go up in dimension, or the higher you come outward properly, you have to come outward properly. From in, you come out. So the more you learn about self, and then you expand from the knowledge that you have gained from yourself, you know, allow that knowledge to settle and become like water, and you know, it becomes wisdom to help you and guide you further upon your path. This is the equivalent of you putting clothes on or putting a cloth on, right? So as a spirit, you put on the soul cloth, then you put on the mental cloth, then you put on the emotional cloth, then you put on the physical cloth. This is as an example. They don't have to be in that way, but you follow what I'm saying. There can be many stages. You can put on the rainbow cloth. Regardless of what it is, as a spirit, we are never naked. We're always in our space. That's why we have a space. Once we get to the stage of that we started having our own individual worlds, our own individual spaces, we were always clothed or always covered or always inside of that world. And we could choose as living spirits to mingle with other spirits and experience their world. And if we agreed with their world, we might merge and create a one big world. And then from that world, eventually we will separate from that world and create something else, because this is where, you know, atoms splitting. Atoms come together and then they split. This is the equivalent of a magnetic field going in and out, pulsating. You feel what I'm saying? That's what that is. So when these spirits can choose to come together, they'll join and they'll stay together as long as they need. And then they will separate. And as they separate, the knowledge and wisdom gathered from that moment when they were joined together, they can create and expand a world based off of that experience. And this is what they'll call expansion, or going up, or going to the higher realms. The more you expand and contract properly, the higher you can go into different realms. So spirits are never clothed. I mean, we're never naked. We're always clothed, right? Hold on. Get out. Small. Anyway, spirits are never naked. So as a physically, when you came out as a child, or should I say before you came into the physical as a spirit, and you were viewing this light, this information, this thought, this brightness in the astroteric world of these two beings coming together, i.e. your parents having sex and having their thoughts and their emotions and energy merging, what I'm talking about now. But see, physically, it's a short time period, because here in the physical, the expiration of things is much faster, even though it may seem slower to you, but it's actually much faster, because the further you go back within inside of self, and the further you go back inside of the universe, the inner universe, things slow down. That's why they have say like 1,000 years to space. Well, 1 year on Earth. What is it? No. 1,000 years on Earth is 1 day in space, because the expansion. And as you expand, things seem to move slower or faster. You know what I'm saying? But that's also an optical illusion that we see on a daily basis. When you see yourself sitting on the earth, and then you're looking at a plane go past you, and that plane looks like it's going like that. But in actuality, the closer you got to that plane, the plane might be looking like going like that, because it's actually going like 300 miles per hour. But because of the distance, the density, where it's at in the water, what position it holds in the water, it appears to be going slower. So back to what I was saying. As you as a spirit seen this light that you decided to come into, which you call your parents, they gave each other a certain material, resource. We call the egg and the sperm cell. Once your sperm cell becomes the beginning makeup for your physical body, your spinal cord, but the egg does more than just helps you incubate that. It also builds your spiritual, or should I really say your mental body, so that you can be connected to your true spiritual self constantly. So as your physical body is being created, your mental body is being created as well. This is why people have aura fields. You can say it's your spirit, but it's not really your spirit. You are the spirit. That's why I say the universe is mental, because that's you're outside. That's not you either. Your mind is not you. So the placenta is the representation of your soul. Which your soul is a solo ship. It's your soul. It's your soul. It's your shim. It's your ship. You're in the soul. You are not the soul. The soul is a collective of all the knowledge and wisdom you have gained over millions and millions and eons and different lives and things like that. It's your cloth, thickened. You ever had a sunflower seed and you kept using one finger? If you keep using one finger on the sunflower seed, it'll get brown, right? And the more you can do it, it'll get like black. Think of like your aura field or your soul like that. It's just a collection. It's just pounding on. But if you're doing it correctly, you'll know how to turn that all that darkness into beautiful colors. But that's another story. So when you come out, you have two bodies. You have the physical body, which is created from the spinal cord or sperm cell, and you have the mental and spiritual body, or the mental body. Spiritual body you kind of create later on down the line, but you have the mental body, which is your aura field, which is your magnetic field, and your spinal cord produces the electricity, i.e. electromagnetic energy. And once those things combine, it allows for your spirit to come in, helps create your blood and shit like that, which turns into plasma. It's real shit. 13 love, 13 wisdom, 13 knowledge, 13 respect. Rise and fly, stay true like the nines. I'm out.